Hey guys, welcome to Sunday School. We've got a special treat today. Our seniors are going to share some words of wisdom to pass on to you. They graduated this past weekend, and they're going to share three things with you. The first thing is going to be, what was your favorite youth ministry memory? The second question they're going to share about is, what is a tip or some tips for how you can connect with God? And the last thing they'll share is their favorite Bible verse. I hope you enjoy it. We're so proud of these seniors.
So my favorite youth memory is when we were at D-Now, and it was Saturday night, right after the lip sync battles. Everyone got home. Matt Joyner came to join us in our small group for the evening, and we just spent the entire time just delving into embarrassing stories and talking about each other. It was a great way to just connect with each other. It was a lot of fun.
I think that having a friend group that you can definitely count on means a lot in both of those. It's definitely my favorite youth memory because I've met some awesome people and I'm super close with all of them now. And it means a lot.
So my favorite memory of youth group was probably that I'm new this year, so just like how welcoming and how sweet everyone was from the get-go and just like acted like I was part of the family from day one. And so that was really fun and made me feel so loved and welcomed, and I really enjoyed that.
I've only been in youth for about a year. But my favorite memory was probably just the first day when I came and everyone was so welcoming and so accepting. And that's really what I love about this church and about this youth group, is that you guys really made it feel like a family. And that's really what made me just want to keep coming back.
My favorite memory from the time I spent in the youth group would be from our senior trip. Especially the ride there, because we all went to Cobden and spent the night at a bed and breakfast there. The amount of times when my face was just trailing with tears from laughing so hard I honestly don't think I could count them, because our group is a really close group of friends, and I really cannot imagine surviving high school without them, because what we used to call our church friends slowly became our main friend group and the people that we talk to the most. And I think that that's a really important thing. And I encourage you guys all to build those bonds with your classmates, because they will be a really big support group for you throughout your time in high school and middle school.
My favorite youth group memory would have to be just every year at Crossings, when everyone would just confess things that have been tugging on them, and we'd all just end up talking and sharing things and crying, and it really just brought us all together, I think. And it's great how God can work through mysterious ways like that.
So my favorite youth memory was by far the senior trip, just getting to spend time with my class, and getting to build those relationships that I hadn't really gotten to build yet. It was a weekend away from Henderson. I'm not sure what it'll be like for you guys. It was a weekend away from Henderson, and it was just so fun to be with like-minded people, groups of people that all shared a love for Christ the same, and just healthy relationships that I just really grew to have ever since that senior trip. Our class got really close, and so we got to have these strong relationships afterwards, and that was really cool. So juniors, seriously go. It's so much fun, and you won't regret it.
My favorite youth memories were definitely the van rides that we would take to different events in church camp. And that time of just joking around with my friends and getting to know them better was really usually the highlight of the entire trip. So I highly recommend taking the vans and soaking up that time with your friends, because it's really one of my most fond memories.
So my advice for connecting with God, as cliche it is, and as often as you've heard it, it really is important to pray and read your Bible. I can tell a difference in my life when I don't do it. And something else is just being with believers, just being with other people who trust God. And it's amazing what happens when you're just with friends that believe too.
It's also a great way for connecting with God. When I'm with my group, I feel super connected to God because they can keep you accountable, and you know for sure that you can trust them no matter what. And connecting your high school life with your spiritual life. They really help through that because they understand everything. They understand what you're going through because, you know, high school can have ups and downs and life can just get hard sometimes. So having a friend group like that is great to help you grow spiritually and connect with God.
Any advice I would want to give to anyone for trying to grow closer with God is just lean on the people in your youth group, lean on your leaders, lean on other believers, because they will be your biggest support system anytime you're struggling with something, you just need help. They're the people that have really helped me grow stronger in my faith, and that's been a big part of my life lately.
One of the biggest tips I have for connecting with God is to find a mentor and be a mentor. I had a mentor throughout high school that I would meet with every week, and she helped me through some of the hardest times in my life. I had someone to go to when I needed advice, when I needed to cry or just be mad, and someone that would offer me good advice while also just being a place for me to just decompress and let all of my worries and my fears and my just frustrations out with someone that I trusted and with someone that I knew would not judge me but would encourage me and find ways to bring all of that back to Christ. Another thing was be a mentor. So that same relationship that you would have with your mentor, you need to have that with someone else so that you can share what you learn with someone else that's going through things that you might have already gone through, and it will also help you keep yourself accountable to really being a strong person in the faith, as you know that you are being an influence on that person, that younger person that has chosen for you to be their mentor.
If you want to get closer to Christ, you really have to make sure you're devoting some time to God and like just doing that. That's all you're doing. You're not on your phone. You're not like just zoning out or whatever. You're just really focusing on God and building that connection.
My tip to grow closer to God is probably starting a Jesus journal and taking notes through the sermons and through youth group, and then during the week whenever I would get my quiet time to study and everything and like pray, I would always go and write in this one journal, and I kept it all together, and that really helped me grow closer and keep my prayers together and all of that.
My tip, I guess, is just meeting God completely where you are. So lay everything out on the table. We're all sinners, we all mess up, so just lay all those sins out and just meet Him exactly where you are. So you're never too far gone from God's help and love, so let Him help you. The hardest thing for me to realize, and I still struggle with it, is realizing that I'm never too far gone from God's goodness and mercy, meaning that there's so many times when I have thought that my sin was too disgusting that God would never forgive me, but that's not true. He's always there. So before coming to First Baptist, I was at a different youth group, and one of our speakers said that this is God and this is me, and so it's like this when we're in a relationship. But I turned my back on God, but God never turns His back on me, and so He's always there.
My tips for connecting with God would be leaning on good Christian mentors in the youth group and in the church. This made a drastic impact on my life when I finally started turning to good Christian mentors instead of friends from school that were giving me really bad advice. My second tip would be making your daily quiet time fun and something that you look forward to, whether that means banking pretty notes or highlighting in pretty colors, whatever makes that time fun and something that you want to do every morning. And my last tip would be writing out your prayers. It really helps you stay focused on God, and you're able to look back on them and reflect on the good things God has done in your life.
Zephaniah 3:17, the Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you, in His love. He will no longer rebuke you, but He will rejoice over you with singing. I just love that Bible verse. I don't know if you can hear the background music, but I'm listening to Christian music right now. I just love like music, and I love the part where He says, but He will rejoice over you with singing. And I also just love that the Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. So He is so mighty that He saved, and He's with me at all times. And my sin is disgusting a lot of times, and that's just really cool to know that He's with me. Anyways, those are my answers. I'm going to uni next year, so I will miss you guys, but I cannot wait to be back at church coming up soon. And if you ever have any questions or just want to talk, I'm always here to chat. And yeah, just reach out. I love you guys. Thanks. I'm not editing that out. Okay.
One of my favorite Bible verses is from Proverbs 16:21. It says, it's not 21, it's 24. And it says, gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. This is basically saying that words matter. Use your words to build each other up instead of tearing each other down. It makes such a difference, and it's something that I've had to remind myself a lot of throughout my time on this earth, because a lot of times I think things that maybe shouldn't be said, and then I have to choose to be encouraging instead. And it's really not that hard to just make that flip in your mind and choose to be an encouragement.
Is 2 Corinthians, what's 2 verses? It's 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verses 14 through 15, and I don't know, I just stumbled upon it, I read it one day and I really loved it, because it's kind of that John 3:16 that we all know and love, but it's just different, and it's not the same. I just really like that verse. I can't tell you why.
Psalms 46:5, God is within her, she will not fall. I really like that verse because it's short and sweet, but it really means a lot, and it gets to the point. So it's very easy to remember, and you can just say it at any time you need it.
My favorite verse would have to be Psalms 46:10, and that verse says, be still and know that I am God. That is the verse that anytime I'm struggling with something, that's the one I go to. That's what I'm constantly reminding myself of. Just anytime I'm struggling with something, I'm stressed, I'm worried, I just tell myself, be still, just give everything I'm struggling with to God, trust Him, and know that He has a plan. His plan is for good. He loves us. He has our best interest in heart, and so that is probably my all-time favorite Bible verse.
So my favorite Bible verse, as many of you already know, is Psalm 37 verses 4 and 5. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to Him, trusting also in Him, and He will bring it to pass. It's just a wonderful encouragement to know these things.
My favorite Bible verse is Proverbs 16:3. It says, commit your work to the Lord and He will establish your plans. Personally, I am a plan-oriented person, and I always want to have a plan. And this verse reminds us to turn those plans over to God and give Him control, and it will really make the biggest impact in your life.
My favorite Bible verse is John 13:7. You may not understand what I'm doing now, but someday you will. That always keeps me going, because we don't always know what or why something is happening to us, but it always does work out, and that Bible verse just really shows that it is all in God's plan and it's not in yours. And even when we make plans for our future, He just sits back and laughs, because He has a greater plan for us to follow.
Hey, thanks for watching. Continue to pray for these seniors as they go on to what's next. And man, if you're a student, think of what you will share in the years to come. I hope that many of you will be in the same spot where these seniors are. This group was so mature in their faith, and we're so proud of them. God bless you guys.